guys, now we have it. We went to war, and do you know? And now it's time we review the Avengers Defenders War. And I got it right here. And just so you know, Tim, your question about when they first fought, I know it's in the book, and I was like, I'm not. I literally could have turned to a page and got it, but
yeah, you could have seen Sonny just do this.
Yeah. I think that's in page. I think the first time they fought was.
He can give you the page number and panel. That's how good he is.
Roy
Thomas tells us.
It says nobody else who read Journey into Mystery 112.
Ooh.
But okay.
That is incorrect.
Book or
do you want me to go over the credits for this real quick before you dive into reviews?
Yeah, I think you're starting this one off.
Okay. All right. So Avengers Defenders War. Avengers issues number 115 through 118 and Defenders numbers 8 through 11. So the credits for this go as follows. For the Avengers issues, that would be writer is Steve Englehart, artist is Bob Brown, inks go to Mike Esposito, colors go to S. Goldberg, and letters go to Gene Izzo. And for Defenders, numbers 8 through 11, writing again goes to Steve Englehart, artwork goes to the immortal Sal Buscema, inks to Frank McLaughlin, colors to P. Goldberg, and letters are Charlotte Jeter. Now, as far as the story goes, it starts off in Avengers. Let's see here. So the gist of it is like Black Knight has been turned to stone, and Stephen Strange has taken him into the Sanctum Sanctorum to try and figure out exactly why that is. And he's got his defenders, Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, the Swordsman, which was a pleasant surprise for me, and Mantis are all part of the Avengers. And one thing leads to another, and they figure out that the Black Knight is at the Sanctum Sanctorum. Dormammu is trying to influence things. Loki is blind, and it turns into a race to find the Evil Eye, which Dormammu says is the only way to bring the Black Knight back from being set in stone. Cue the Avengers racing to go get it, and the Defenders racing to go get it at the same time. Battles ensue. Silver Surfer fights the Vision and Scarlet Witch, which was a great battle. Hulk fights Thor. Captain America fights against who does he fight against? Yeah, Namor. That's right. Yep, that was also good. And Sunfire makes an appearance there. Valkyrie against the Swordsman. Hawkeye against Iron Man, which Hawkeye was chomping at the bit for. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, it's good. So beyond that, I mean, like it's all self-contained issues with a larger storyline that covers everything. We've said this before a million times. These type of issues back then wanted to give you as much information, action, and drama as possible in 28 pages.
My head hurt.
But with that being said, I think Sal Buscema's artwork is the standout here. I did not personally care for his work in Spectacular Spider-Man, but here in the Defenders, that was my favorite. Bob Brown's work on Avengers was okay to me, but Buscema's work gets a better grade because his work was so much better. Like I said, they're self-contained issues. It felt like a weekly serial, very dramatic, action-packed, and absolutely...
I thought you meant like the food for a second. I was like, Crunchberry or...
No, like those radio programs they used to have.
No, I know.
Way back in the day. So everything is contained.
Me and Jamie don't remember those radio shows, Tim.
I do. I remember when air was.
Come on, it was Hi Ho Silver away and then come back for the next Avengers.
Everything is contained in each issue. It's very well paced, but also a very long read. This took me the whole day to do. I couldn't do it all in one right after the other. That was just too much. My brain would have melted.
It hurts.
But over the course of the day, it read really well and it was paced out really well. Solid storytelling, solid artwork, great story from start to finish, and an awesome addition to Avengers/Defenders history. So as far as grades go for the Avengers issues specifically, overall grade for that gets a 7.25 out of 10. Weird number, I know. And Defenders,
hey, that's what we do.
Yep, Defenders issues overall I thought were a little bit better. And they get a 7.75 out of 10 for me, for an overall score for the entire storyline of a 7.5.
He did that for a reason.
Yeah.
He does 2.5 and 0.75 just so he could be like, oh, I'm cool. And then I'm not.
I'm super awesome. Yeah. So 7.5 out of 10 overall. It was a great read. Awesome read. Not something I think I would read again right away, but it was good to read and know.
Oh, well,
Jamie, how about you?
Going into this, Tim Murray kind of alluded to, there's a lot of there's some positives for me in this. I really did enjoy the versus issues where everyone kind of got the same amount of page time or page count. You don't really see that too often. Now it's like whoever the big hitter is, you're going to have for 10 of the pages, and then the other 10 is a mix of whoever is going up against each other. But in this, everyone felt kind of fair to who was fighting who at that time. I really enjoyed that aspect. One thing I did not care for was the plot. It's and not saying the whole thing, I'm saying at the beginning with like Loki and Dormammu, and it's like Loki felt like he was just interjected there just to be there. I didn't feel like he felt like a little kid telling on his older sibling at one point.
He was just a plot device.
Yeah.
Like it was Dormammu, like I said, kind of there.
And then you got Loki running and he can't see, so I don't know how he's getting there. To Doctor Strange and being like, Dormammu did it, and we don't really know what's going on. I mean, we do, but at the same time, it's like I could have dealt without that. I could have dealt with something that was like, hey, it was just Dormammu the entire time being Dormammu. Like, you could have gone with that and I would have been fine. You used Loki as, like you said, the plot device, and it wasn't a good choice to me. Overall, I thought the art was great to me, especially for that time frame. I don't know. It just brought back that, like, I do love that old fighting art style, especially like with Tim's background, like the Hulk versus Thor and all of that. I can look at that all day. As for the words,
I have it too.
Even in the page itself, the editor, Roy Thomas, he's like, you can use this as a pinup if you want to, but go buy another issue so you don't destroy the only thing you have. Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I thought the story was good. It wasn't something that was not like, I can equivalent it to, like, when you see a movie, it's a good popcorn flick. It's good to see once and then be done with. And then if you want to revisit it later, you can, but you're probably not. This is what this was for me. I thought it was a good read. I thought it was a great introduction to a world that I don't know. But overall, I'm going to give Avengers Defenders War a solid 7. I think that was fair enough for me, coming from me for this one. I hate narration, and half this book felt like it was. I literally reread one issue without the narration, and it read the same.
This was this was a novel to read.
Yes, it felt like reading a Sonny Cougar novel at one point. I think that's why I liked it.
Well,
getting a 10 out of 10.
I hope we rate my stuff more than a 7, but Avengers Defenders is fine. I didn't write it, so. But yeah, like I said, 7 is still good. 7.5 is still good. For me, I would say that, Jamie, I agree with you. Like how you said at the beginning, I was kind of like, whatever. And I think everyone's pretty much in agreement that the versus parts were definitely the best parts of it.
The highlight.
Yep.
Yeah, without a doubt, the highlight, because like I said, when we knew it was back in the 70s, and it was like a lot of times, oh my gosh, we're seeing these characters, we're seeing the Avengers fight the Defenders. Like I said, we're seeing Hulk fight Thor, Captain America fight Namor, all these great battles. But then,
I did have one more note when you're done.
Sure, okay,
sure. So when you're done with that,
I'll let you do it.
Okay, so we were talking about the fighting aspect. The one thing that made a memory that came back to me while I was reading this was the verses from DC and Marvel when they were pinning up the characters against each other. And I felt like they took that whole inspiration right there and went, put this in this book. Because it literally looked verbatim to me like, okay, now we got like Jubilee versus Robin. And it's like, I kind of see how that translated later on. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's one cool thing I picked out of it. Sorry, I had that in my note and I forgot to say it.
No problem. Yeah, like I said, like the Superman, Hulk. I read Marvel versus DC, years before this, but like I said, yeah, like seeing Thor and Hulk, like I said, was okay again like that. But the two heavy hitters, it's super strength,
Mhm.
and yeah. So like I said, the artwork, the battles were the best thing, without a doubt. And then, because even too, when I went over it again, because obviously I read the whole thing before, and I was like, okay, now kind of go through it, and when you're not reading so much of it, I think it's almost even better because when you're looking through, it is fun to revisit when you're seeing like the battles again in the fights.
Mhm.
But then you kind of get towards also like I said, the beginning a little like not this incredible story, and then later when it's like it's kind of settled and the teams are now working together, and then also too with what were they like the gremlins or the gnomes? This huge
Oh,
thing,
I
so
know
they're
exactly.
trying
Yeah,
to
yeah. They're like underneath the ground, and they're like, what was
yes,
it? They're dragging Captain America one more or something like that.
Oh,
yeah,
the
they're puncturing
troglodytes or
Yeah,
whatever.
yes,
the
Yeah.
troglodytes.
yeah, I was like, okay, that does bring it a little down because you just had these incredible fights with some of the best characters in Marvel history.
Now you got
Or
some
are you-
Oompa Loompas coming out of the ground trying to.
Yes, been punching Hulk and doing all this.
Are you
And
talking about at the last issue?
the last issue? Yeah,
For the those were like the gnomes or whatever.
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah.
the gnomes. So for me, that's something. Oh, I was, you want a big ending when you're reading a big story arc, especially one like this. You have the Avengers fighting the Defenders. You want something big, and I felt the ending was a letdown compared to what we had before.
I
I
agree
do-
with you on that, Sonny.
Yeah.
I think if they would have scrapped that issue of Defenders and just ended it on the Avengers issue, that would have been a whole lot better.
Yeah, because the battle with Dormammu is fine. Like, so, he's one of the most powerful villains in Marvel, so that would have been a better ending.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we had to see Black Knight get healed from his stone stage, but I was like, yeah, it didn't seem like a big ending to me.
No.
But
Right.
I do enjoy, like I said, obviously this is one of the biggest events in the 70s for comic books. We got to see some great fighting, and like I said, there was a lot of talking. So for me, I give the Avengers Defenders War an 8.2. So we got
Okay.
Still in the
8.2
eights
for
though.
me, 8.2 for me, 7.0 for Jamie, and 7.5 for Tim.
That's right. Yeah. Solid ratings all around.
Stupid 7.25s. Who does that? Us.
I don't
That's it.
like doing the 8.65s or 8.72s or whatever. I like
We've
mine in
never done
quarters,
that.
halves, and wholes.
We've
Well, I
literally
changed my
done.
rating. Mine's 8.2555.
Yeah. Repeating. With a little at
8.3.1.6.
There you go. The Avengers
98.3.
0.5, 0.25.